Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Welcome to another Saturday, another Mindset Saturday, where we all come together to reason and remember how to think and remember who we are in order to live well, to live as we should, right? To live how we desire, to know that we can be and do and have anything we want because of who we really are. So welcome. Great to have you all. Another Saturday. We made it. So every week I do whatever it takes to keep everyone on their toes. So today we're coming off like it's 1985 middle school, right? Where as soon as you walk into class, the teacher wants to know, did you do your homework? Where's your homework? Don't say hi, don't talk to me, don't look at me. I want to know, where is your homework? So this past week, we had some homework, 10 minutes of talking to ourselves, right? Whether you did it all at once or whether you did it a little bit here and there, 10 minutes of just talking to yourself like you had some sense, like you know who you really are, right? The same way you talk to your child, the same way you talk to anyone else you love and wanted to tell them nice things about themselves, encourage them, motivate them, inspire, all those different things. Well, that this week was about you doing that to you, for you, 10 minutes every single day. Chop it up, do it all at once, doesn't matter. So I want to know how that worked for everybody, how that went, what they found, what they learned, what they got from that. So whoever wants to start, tell me what you think.
All right, well, I've been doing that a lot here. A lot of the meditations and the talk we went into were in regards to remembering who we are. At the end of the day, I had to remember that I am love. And when I can remember that I am love, I can treat other people better because I can tap into the love and the energy that I am. Constant reminder of focusing back, not on letting the world define you, not on letting somebody else tell you who you are, what you can do, but remembering that you are the essence of love and tapping into that and thriving on that. And that's been a lot of my self-talk over the last couple of days, way more than 10 minutes, I can tell you that. But it was all power packed into like that last 2 days.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Awesome. Yes. Wonderful. Okay. Next up, who did their 10 minutes of homework every day?
I did scripting.
It doesn't matter what you do or how you do it.
Here's my evidence. And
Evidence.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Because yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay. What did you get from your 10 minutes a day?
I liked the zoning into focusing on what I have and want but have, if that makes sense. I always write everything in either past or present future, or past or present tense, not future, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my hand my hand muscles are not as strong as they were back in the 80s and 90s. But that's because we don't write like that anymore. Why are you making the face?
Okay.
Sparkle Bailey has her hand.
Okay. All right. Sparkle Bailey.
Good morning, Coach Lucky. Good morning, family. I immediately after the call, I started this list of I am affirmations, and then throughout the week they just kept growing. And so I incorporated Latoya and another mutual friend of ours. And so what I got from it was, I'm more than I thought I was. I'm a lot more than I thought I was. The more I repeated the affirmations, the more affirmations came to me to remind me. They just came to me like, you're this as well, you're that as well. And the list is like extremely long, so it takes longer to repeat everything every day. But the magic, like the beam that just came over me, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like, I'm never going backwards, ever, you know? Yeah.
We'll talk about like you said, the magic, the beans, and what comes over us as a result of doing it. We're going to talk about that today. So that's wonderful. Okay. Who else? Who else did their 10 minutes a day of whatever they wanted to say to themselves and the outcome of that for them?
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, family. In doing my 10 minutes, it took me back to a picture I had in my notebook in kindergarten where I was in a bathing suit and I thought I was like super fly. And a classmate looked at my picture and he was like, "Ew, you're fat." And it sent me into a downward spiral of insecurities like my entire life. So at 46, doing homework, it made me realize that I am the shit. And that was somebody else's perspective of me, and that doesn't make it true. So it kind of like smashed all of my insecurities. So thank you for that.
Wonderful. Okay. Who else?
Well, for me, good morning, Grand Rising, everybody. Truthfully speaking, it was like an intravenous feed, constantly warming me, strengthening me, reaffirming that I'm all that chips and a cheesesteak. And it felt comfortable, but it also felt powerful. I found myself speaking to myself and to others differently. I found my hearing turned off to that which was not encouraging, empowering, and I did it with ease, which for me marks monumental growth. So yes, it also reminded me of another assignment you gave when you say, "I want you all to," how did you put it? But basically, it was talk your stuff this week. Let everybody know, talk your stuff. And so my 10 minutes of affirmation, reaffirming was also a part of talking my stuff. And coach, you're all that and 2 bags of chips and cheesesteak.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay. Who else we got? Who has
Hey, look, I'll go.
10 minutes of fame? Do you have to? I mean, yeah, go ahead. That was a mistake. That was a mistake.
Right. So, one thing I found out is that 10 minutes is very short.
Yeah.
Very short in time. And before I knew it, it was 35 minutes when I was driving. And I just got really motivated, encouraged, and inspired from within to just continue to talk that talk, so to speak. So I'll keep it short like that. But I just really got inspired and rejuvenated, um, just almost like a new birth. So that's what I got.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. Anybody else? 10 minutes, the 10 minutes of fame, what they got from it? Cassidy, how was your 10 minutes of fame every day? Yeah. I don't know how you're going to show your face on here and think I'm not going to call you eventually. How do you think you're invisible for the next man?
Sometimes.
Okay. Well, not today.
Not today. I haven't been here the past few weeks, so.
Okay. Well. All right. I'll let you go on that one. Well, it's good to see you. I mean, good to see you. All right. Anyone else before we move on? 10 minutes every day. Okay, so let's talk about a couple things real quick from that 10 minutes that we all talked about. Perspective, right? When we just heard that someone else's perspective made us feel this or that. It just goes to show you that your perspective is important. So it goes to show you then whose perspective are you perceiving things from? Who are you listening to? Who are you looking at the world through the eyes of? Yourself, your coworker, your significant other, your kids. How are you seeing your life? It's your life, and looking at it through someone else's eyes is not going to work. Almost like trying to get full while someone else is chewing. If you're not chewing with them, if you don't have anything to eat, them chewing is not helping you, right? So everyone else is looking through life through everyone else's eyes with your life is not the most effective, efficient way to do it, right? You have to find your own perspective. You have to choose and find your way of looking at life in a way that is advantageous for you, right? A lot of times we don't realize we're not doing that. We're looking at our life through someone else's lens. people telling you what you can be, what you can't be, what you look like, what you don't look like, how you should feel, what you don't feel, all that other stuff, right? You have to find your own perspective. And that takes you doing, like people say the work, but it takes you using your own equipment, right? Your own eyes, your own teeth, your own stomach, your own faculties to have your own experience. So that's one. Pieces. So when it's true, as you start doing these things, you'll start to see other ideas come. You start things just like it, right? Birds of a feather, right? Ideas of a feather do flock together. That's why when you're not thinking in your best favor, all the other things that come as a result of that are not in your best favor either. That's why when people talk about, oh, you have to work and you have to do this. Yeah, but if you're not thinking well, your work is not going to go well. If you're not thinking properly, you're not going to do work that's proper. You're not going to get an outcome different than your thinking. It doesn't work like that, right? That's like it just doesn't work like that. So I'll keep it short. But so yes, the list gets longer. More you start to have more ideas about yourself. And that list doesn't always have to be repeated top to bottom. You can just take it in pieces. There may be 2 or 3 things out of that 100 things that you start to grow and think about yourself. You may say 2 or 3 of those at a time because they go together real nice, right? Like a little rhyme, or that's because that's your mood in the moment, or because that's your desire in the moment, or because like a Band-Aid or medicine, you're using it to stop something. Like you may have a thought, or you may be having an experience that you want to change your perception or how you're feeling. So you may take 2 or 3 of those that come to your mind. But by doing them constantly, they come quicker to your mind, right? You just know they're just things that you start saying to yourself in certain moments, right? So you don't have to say them all from top to bottom. You may just take 2 or 3 at a time. And whatever one moves you right then, stops you right then, propels you right then, you take those. Right? So that's good. Daily. It's important. Everything that you do generally in life that has any meaning or value, you do pretty much daily. Whether it's going to school, whether it's going to work, whether it's brushing your teeth, taking a shower, whether it's eating, whether it's talking to people that you love, whether it's if you look at the things that you really value or are pretty much important in life, you do them daily. You do them on a pretty consistent basis. So these things that we're talking about, we did 10 minutes. And to everybody's point, if you realize that 10 minutes goes by fast when you start talking to yourself, especially when you're doing other things, washing the dishes, taking a shower, driving, walking to school, whatever else you're doing, right? So it goes by fast, but I just said 10 minutes because that way it just didn't make people feel like it was going to be too overwhelming just to get started. Once you got started, you see 10 minutes is nothing. Right. So then now 30 minutes to you is nothing or whatever. But the more you keep doing it, the faster it will come to you. Right. The more of it you become. Right. So that's a good thing. Daily. Inspired. Yes. Inspired means to breathe from within, to give life from within. And what happens on the outside, so to speak, when you think you're just hearing something on the outside, that's coming from the inside. So you're starting the engine. You're starting the car up. Yeah, people see the car moving, but the battery's on the inside. Right? What you see on the outside is being driven from the inside. So when you can inspire, when you can wake up, when you can awaken the inside by focused talking to yourself, right? Whether you're writing something down. Yesterday I was doing what people call scripting, journaling, whatever. I took a YouTube channel that I follow, and I took all of their affirmations, the ones I liked, and I wrote them down on index cards. And I used probably about 15 or 20 index cards, probably about 17 index cards. And so it took me probably about 45 minutes, but it was just my own way of talking to myself. I had never even done it really that way before, but I just took the things that I liked and I wrote them down and then I just ripped them up and threw them away. It was just right then for that moment. I probably couldn't even read half of it, right? But the point is that I was using that to inspire myself. I was using that to really turn the flame up, right? And stuff like that. And I actually felt the difference even this morning, not just from that, but just saying the more you do that, and we're going to get into it, the more you'll be inspired. You'll breathe life from within, the more you'll be turned on from within, right? So that's a good thing. So good. That was the 10 minutes. And like we said, 10 minutes goes by fast. So, you can realize that you can do it anyway, anytime, anywhere, whatever works for you, suits you, and goes from there, right? So good. All right. We are going to we're going to play 2 little shorts real quick. They're about 20 seconds each. So make sure you're paying attention real quick from wherever you are. We'll play them maybe twice, but probably just once each. They're just kind of to get it started because today we're jumping right into it, right into the mix. So turn your volumes up, and like I said, there's two of them. They're both short.
Which one do you want me to do?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want? God damn it. What do you want?
I have to go.
Okay, that's one.
I'm 95 years old.
You're 95
That's
years
right.
old. You look.
Now what's the matter?
I'll never dance again. I'm a cripple.
Pure hysteria. You've made yourself believe that. It is, otherwise you'd fight.
What is there to fight for?
Ah, you see. You admit it. What is there to fight for? Everything. Life itself, isn't that enough? To be lived, suffered, enjoyed.
Sorry.
I'm 95 years old.
You're 95
That's
years
right.
old. You
That's
look
right.
good for 95. Man.
That cause I don't run behind big asses and titties. That'll kill you. Y'all young men, y'all be screwing.
Now what's the matter?
I'll never dance again. I'm a cripple.
Pure hysteria. You've made yourself believe that. It is, otherwise you'd fight.
What is there to fight for?
Ah, you see. You admit it. What is there to fight for? Everything. Life itself, isn't that enough? To be lived, suffered, enjoyed. What is there to fight for? Life is a beautiful, magnificent thing. The trouble is you won't fight. You've given in, continually dwelling on sickness and death. But there's something just as inevitable as death, and that's life. Life, life, life. Think of the power that's in the universe, moving the earth, growing the trees, and that's the same power within you, if you'll only have courage and the will to use it. Now what's the matter?
I'll never dance again.
Okay. Perfect. Now there's one more thing I want to do. I think it's on your, I think it's a video thing.
Another video?
No, it's not a video. It's a slide. Caption. You'll see it when it pops up. That one.
Nobody was ready for that.
Thank you. All right.
That was all of a sudden, I don't know.
All right,
Yeah.
here we go. Then this is the last one. Right? Gavin, there you go. Since you wide awake and astute, read this for us, please.
Read it.
Yes, sir.
You got it. There is no labor form where most people shrink as they do from that sustained and consecutive thought. It is the hardest work in the world.
Right?
Willis D. Waters.
Right? There's no labor from which most people shrink as they do from that of sustained and consecutive thought. It is the hardest work in the world. That's from Wallace Wattles, the same person who wrote The Science of Getting Rich, The Science of Being Healthy, and I think it's The Science of Being Great. And science means basically the knowledge, meaning the knowledge of something, right? So if you look at that quote and those two shorts, right? Number one, the what do you want, right? That's a famous scene from The Notebook. And the reason I put that one on this week is because talking to several people this week that came to ask me about something or get my advice about something or that I was working with this week, asking that same question, literally that's the answer I got. It was like, well, I'm not sure. Well, I don't know. And a lot of the reasons that we are suffering, meaning going without the desires that we really want to attain and achieve in life, is because we really haven't honed in on what we wanted. We've honed in on what we think we should want, what we hope that we want, what everyone else tells us what we should want, that we want. But we really, when really comes down to it, a lot of times people, we don't really know what we really want. We're so conditioned to being told to be grateful for what we have, or just go after what you can get, or be realistic, or don't be unreasonable, or that's not possible, or this is what you should want at this age, or this is what you should want if you're this, or if you're that, or where you're coming from. But so as a result, if you look at little kids tell you what they want quick and easy and often. And isn't that amazing that as we become adults, more mature, we actually have less ability to do that. We have a harder time really honing in on what we want because we really don't think it's possible. We really think we should be more reasonable, more rational. And so have we have the ability, but we have become very rusty with it. We really don't use that muscle or that level of clarity much in life anymore. We just go to what we think we can get, and we have made that synonymous with what we want. Well, I think we can do this. I think we can do that. Or I think we can do this. Or I think we can do that. Right? But that's not really what we want. And so the ability to know what you want, to really say, what do I really want? That gets much trickier for adults as they get older. And here, in order to live the way we want to live, we have to know what it is we want. What we want to live like, what we want to live, how we want to live, where we want to live. What is that to us? What does that mean? So that's number one, right? Number two, when the lady on there was saying what she couldn't be and what she never would be, and the guy said, well, all the power of the universe is in you. You just won't fight. You won't be determined to say, no, I am who I am. This is what it is. And so this is how it's going to go for me. Right? A lot of times we think fighting is physical, but it's really not. It's really mental. It's really the ability to say, no matter what I look at, no matter what I feel, no matter how it looks, no matter what people say or how things seem, this is what I choose. This is what I choose to be. This is what I choose to do, right? With the power that's in you because of who you really are. And lastly, that quote, right? The hardest work in the world basically is to maintain or to sustain a thought, right? For a long period of time. I am wealthy, even though every time I look in my bank account, it says negative. I am prosperous, even though I look in my wallet and there's not much in there. I am healthy, even though the last time I went to the doctor, my blood pressure was this, or my leg is still hurting, or whatever else it is. To choose a thought that you want, to choose a lifestyle, a way of living that you want, and to maintain that thought until it becomes a physical thing in your world is the hardest thing to do. The hardest thing is to choose what you think and not have it chosen for you by the world, by people, by family, by friends, by anyone and everyone but you. That is the title of our class today, basically, right? The hardest things in the world. Hardest things in the world is to know what you want. That's one of them. Hardest thing in the world, some of the other hardest things are to believe that you can have what you want, to believe that you have the ability to choose what you want, to believe that you have the power to choose what you want, and to be able to choose that in spite of what you are seeing in that moment, in that second, right? To be able to maintain a thought, to be faithful to a thought, right? To be committed to a thought like we talked about several weeks and months ago, right? So that today is going to be the title of the class, and those were just little bit different warm-ups, so to speak, to really understand where the class is going and how that is working, right? All right, so all right. I said when we did the 10 minutes, right? And people started realizing it gets to 30 and 40 real quick, real easy, right? And we start talking about how it really changes the way you see yourself, the way you start to see things. It changes your perception because now you are doing something different. And I had this conversation with a couple people this week, the way I explained it. So we're going to explain it. I'm going to explain it the same way because I think it's pretty effective. So forget whether it's good or bad, right or wrong. Forget about whether you agree or don't agree. We're just working on the principle. We're just working on the actual just topic of it. Why do people drink and smoke or smoke? Why do people do that?
Habit.
Okay, well, but think about it. If it's the first time they do it, it's not a habit. Why do people do that? Whether it's the first time, the 100th time,
To escape.
Say it again.
To escape.
Okay, escape.
In the chat, Monique has said escape.
They're looking for it to fulfill a specific need.
To fulfill a need. So what would that, okay, the need, so okay, so we'll say a need.
For pleasure.
To fulfill a need. For pleasure. So pleasure different than what they're having.
Yes.
Without it. Okay.
You have curiosity, to feel good, peer pressure, first timers,
Feel good. Okay.
fit in,
All right.
numbness.
Okay. So, all right. Okay, cool. So no matter what, no matter why you did it now, what do you get from it? Like, why do people do it? Whether it's what do you get from it?
Relief.
Relief. Okay, that's a good one. So let's say relief. Let's say that. Okay, any other ones?
Escape, which you already
Relief, escape, okay.
To get high, to get drunk.
Okay, yeah, but what does that do? That's not a thing. Meaning, yes, I understand what it is a thing, but it's not a thing. What does that mean? If you're in those, what does that mean?
Mask.
To be happy, to get happy.
So it's to get. To get. Whatever you get is to get. To get this or to get that, but you're going to get something, which means you don't have it. So then it's to get. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. So unwind. Okay. So that means, okay, let's say unwind. Okay. So if you are relieved, if you've masked something, if you've now got something and you've now unwound, right? Then what actually did you do? What is it actually affecting when you're doing that? When you drink something or smoke something, what are you actually getting? What are you doing? What are you achieving? How does that work?
Sparkle Billy said changing your reality.
Okay, you're changing your reality.
I was going to say, oh snap.
You're altering your mindset.
Your feelings.
Your mind state.
You're altering, so your feelings, right? Yes, Justin, I heard you said feelings. Now, Justin said your mind state, your state of mind. Your mind state, your state of mind. When you are, and then when you do it, and then what does it, so you're altering something. And that alteration is your state of mind. What you get from that alteration may be relief, may be masking. You may feel like you're getting something different. You're unwinding reality. Well, you're not changing reality, because if you walked into the bar because you lost your job and then you decided you were going to go to the bar and drink as much as you could to try to mask it, relieve yourself from it, whatever else it is, you still have lost your job. So you really haven't changed your reality. What did you change?
How you feel about your reality.
Yeah, your perspective, right? Or your perception. How you're changing your feelings. Right? So that means by changing your state of mind, you change how you feel. Right? By changing your state of mind, you're changing how you feel. But you are doing this, and so the more you drink, let's say, and the more you smoke, like I said, we're just using drinking and smoking. We're not saying whether it's good or bad, right or wrong right now. That's not the point. And the more you drink and the more you smoke, what happens?
The more intoxicated you can get.
So, and the more intoxicated you get, what happens?
The more numb you get.
Right? Okay, and numbness is what?
No feelings.
A blur.
A blur, no feelings, right? It means you are changing no feelings, you're altering your feelings. You're altering your perspective of reality. You're altering the way your physical experience. So the alteration of your mind is altering your physical experience. Right? So to change anything physical in your world, what do you have to alter?
Your mind.
Your mind, right? So if you alter your mind, what is the difference between alter your feelings are physical? What else is physical? What else in the
Your
world?
body.
Your
Okay.
body.
Your body.
Okay, what else?
Your world.
Okay, your world.
Environment.
Your environment.
Belly says your results.
Your essentially, yes, your results. Okay. Environment a lot of times is your perspective of your environment. A lot of times, right? That's why a lot of times, you could go to a party and everybody doesn't have the same time at the party. It just depends on what state of mind they're in. Some people are standing there leaning against the wall like they don't want to be there. Some people are going so hard you don't think they're ever going to leave, right? And then there's everybody else in between. So when you alter your state of mind, you alter your physical reality. Well, what else is your physical reality? Your money, your business, your relationships, all those are physical, right? Can't you put your hand on money? Can't you put your hand on a body? Can't you put your hand on the people you have relationships with? Right? When you alter your mind, you alter your physical world. Right? Not only in your perception, your perspective, but in the way you deal with it. If you drink or smoke too much and become intoxicated, doesn't that alter your speech? Doesn't it alter maybe the way your eyes look? Doesn't it alter the way you walk or the way you talk or what you talk about? When you alter your mind, you alter your physical experience and physical expression. That's why people do it. If otherwise you would just go to a bar and drink water. But water doesn't alter you that way. So what you're doing is you're doing these things. I'm not saying why you're doing them. I'm saying the outcome of doing them. You're doing these things to get an outcome. For what? Maybe you lost your job, maybe this or that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the reason you're doing it is to ultimately alter your state of mind in order to have a different physical experience. And the more you alter your state of mind, the more your physical experience and your perspective, your perception of people, the environment, of your circumstances or whatever, feel like they change to you. You become numb, you start to feel relieved, or you start to unwind, whatever else it is. You feel the physical effects of the alteration of your mind is the point.
Yeah, I think that it's important, like maybe to reiterate that you're not necessarily saying this is good or bad, because we've witnessed examples where people like the Cubans that we saw on the video that smoked and nothing happened to them because their state of mind wasn't in a negative space. So I don't want you guys to like think that he's just talking about something negative right now, because what's really important here is the mindset part, if that makes sense, because I think a lot of people are getting caught up with like the negative aspect on.
So,
and I don't want them to lose your point because of that.
So the point of saying this is, right, that anytime you are able to alter your state of mind, you can alter your physical world. That's the point, right? So now when we use drugs or alcohol, that's just an external way of doing that. It's like AAA starting your car because your battery is not working itself. Right? So it's using an external power to start something up that should be or can be happening from the inside. Right? So when you intoxicate yourself, it means that you are simply altering your state of mind to the point where it's probably more obvious. Right? But as soon as you start sipping or as soon as you start smoking, you start to alter your state of mind. You're altering your brain chemistry. Right? And so when you start to alter your brain chemistry, that alteration of brain chemistry alters your physical chemistry. So you start to see that being reflected in your body. Okay. Now, when we did 10 minutes of this talking to ourselves for 10 minutes and all the other stuff, you are essentially doing the same thing. You're just doing it so-called naturally. You're doing it without any external stimuli. You are, if you're talking about external, let's say you're talking about motivation now. That's why they call it liquid courage, right? Or they call certain things, yeah, you're using something external to alter something internally. Well, you can use something internal to alter the internal as well, right? Motivation is external. Inspiration is internal. So when you start talking to yourself for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, when you start affirming who you are, changing and choosing what your concept is, your idea of yourself, and the value you place on yourself, your esteem, your self-esteem, that is value, how you value yourself. When you do this for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you are essentially beginning to intoxicate yourself. You are essentially now internally altering your state of mind. And when you alter your state of mind, whether you do that externally or internally, you start to alter your physical world. Well, the good thing about doing it this way is you don't get pulled over for it. You can't fail the drug test for it. Your kidneys or your liver may not hurt. You didn't have to pay anybody. You didn't have to go anywhere. You did not have to tell anybody you were doing it. You could do this anytime, day or night. You can talk to yourself to the point that you become intoxicated. Where that thought of what you're saying to yourself, I am healthy, or I am wealthy, everything I set my hand to prospers, or I have the best relationships, or I always have the best ideas, or I have perfect timing, or whatever else it is. When you start to say that to yourself over and over, that is the equivalent of sipping over and over, of inhaling over and over. You keep sipping and inhaling until you become. You keep talking to yourself until you intoxicate yourself with the good you desire. You get to choose what it is that you are becoming aware of, and that is therefore going to take hold of your physical experience. When you are saying I'm wealthy or I'm healthy and your leg still hurts. Well, when you're at the bar, who goes to the bar and gets a drink, buys a drink and takes one sip and walks out? Does anybody do that? Does anybody think anybody does that? Right? Who goes and buys a cigarette and just takes it out the pack and lights it up and takes one puff and throws it out on purpose? Anybody do that? Right?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. If somebody did that, what would you say to them?
Why are you doing that?
Why are you doing that? Are you out of your mind? Why are you, right?
Wasting.
You're wasting. And so what I'm saying to you is, then if we say I am wealthy, I'm healthy, and your leg was hurting all night, and you say I am healthy, you say it once. How much do you think that's going to work for most people?
Not at all.
Not at all. It's not going to work even a little bit for most people. You don't think like that. You haven't been trained to think like that. And this thing has been hurting for a long time. So if you went to the bar because you lost your job and you got a drink, you're not going to just take one sip. You're going to sip until you start feeling better. Am I right? If you buy them pack of cigarettes and you spend however much it is, right, and you take it out, you're gonna inhale it until you got your money's worth. Am I right? If you buy anything else that you would like to intoxicate yourself with, you're going to keep sipping or smoking until you get the desired effect. Is that correct?
Waste not, want not.
That's it, right? So then what I'm saying to you is keep sipping, keep smoking, keep talking to yourself until you become intoxicated with your good. One sip ain't going to do it. One puff ain't going to do it. It ain't going to change anything. Yes.
Kristen was trying to say something.
Yes.
No, I was just saying that's correct.
Right? We do it because we want to alter, we want something to change, or we want to feel different about what maybe we don't think we can change. But we know that if we want that to happen, we have to sip enough or smoke enough, inhale enough before that or until that happens. right? Well, and when we do, doesn't our physical world alter, whether it physically alters or our perception of it alters? Right? So when we talk to ourselves for this 10 minutes, 20 minutes, when you start talking to yourself on a regular basis, stop turning the TV on so quick. They're not talking to you about nothing that's good for you. Stop turning the radio on, the TV on. Stop listening to everybody so quick, so long, and so often. Somebody else smoking a cigarette ain't doing nothing for you. Somebody else drinking a drink is not doing anything for you. Somebody else inhaling something is not doing that much for you. Maybe you walk by it and stand around long enough, you can maybe, but I mean, it's you're getting secondhand at best, right? Go straight to the thing. Go straight to it. Get your own cigarette. Get your own drink. Get your own narcotic. If you're gonna do it, do it. But talk your own talk. You have to intoxicate. This is not a secondhand thing. You have to learn how to intoxicate yourself with your concept of being, doing, or having whatever it is you want. I am prosperous. I have a wonderful business. I make $10,000 a week. I make $10,000 a month. And your business may be making $10,000 a year when you say it. $10,000 in the decade. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you were before you walk in that bar. You walk in that bar because you realize if you get what you want and you get enough of it, things are going to change. Right? Things are going to change or you going to change. Something is going to change. And most people don't walk out of there until they feel some kind of change, right? Some people don't walk out, some people crawling out. But people, you stay as long as you need to get your desired effect. You talk to yourself and as long as you need to intoxicate yourself until you get your desired effect, until you start seeing yourself as a person that has $10,000 a week in their business or a month in their business. Till you see yourself as the healthy person, till you see your blood pressure come down, till you keep talking until you intoxicate yourself until it physically affects your world. Intoxicate yourself with affirmations. Yes, intoxicate yourself with the chosen statements of what you want to do, be, or have in your world. And you keep sipping and inhaling until you get there. Not one sip short, not one puff short, not one word short, not one thought about yourself short, not one line on a paper short. However you choose to intoxicate yourself, talking to yourself, writing, scripting, journaling, imagining, wherever you do it, however, that's what you do until you get the physical effect in your world. And you'll see it. You'll see not only do you start to feel better, right? You'll start to see your world start to alter because you are now becoming a different person by intoxicating yourself with your thoughts and what you are choosing to say to yourself. And if you are talking and you still haven't seen it in your world, guess what you need to do? Keep sipping. Keep inhaling. Keep doing it until you get high. Until you get in your mind is clouded with only your good, with only your best, with only your desired chosen outcomes. Not just once, not just one sip, I'm using a very drastic, dramatic example to impress home the point. And nobody goes to the bar for one sip. Nobody buys a cigarette for one puff. Nobody buys narcotics for one little. No, you go to get that because you want something to change, whether it's a thing or you're feeling about the thing. And you keep going at it until one or both of those changes. So you choose what you want to say to yourself, how you want your feelings to be, how you keep going until you have clouded your mind. And that's all it is to you. Till you are inebriated, intoxicated, where if they pulled you over, they were like, man, but in your case, now you're shining. You're like, man, you looking good. Wow, girl, you looking good. What you been doing? Wow, man, your business is taking off. Well, man, what you been doing? I've been talking to myself. I've been seeing myself. I have become the person. What is it? What is an addict? What is the definition? What is an addict? What is that person?
When he said someone who's addicted.
What does addicted mean? What does that mean? Okay, compulsive. Okay, what does that mean? Lacks control. Go ahead.
Somebody who's can't stop themselves from doing a specific action.
There you go. So then it doesn't matter what the action is then, right?
Right.
It only matters, like you said, they almost can't stop themselves. It's compulsive. They are like, they have to do it. What if you were that way about the good you said to yourself? What if you were that way about the way you talked about your money or about your health or about your business? What if you couldn't stop talking about it? What if you walked around the house all day and just talked to yourself? What if you were addicted to that? It means you don't care what people say. You don't care what people think. You have now become the thing that you were once a participant in. If you smoke a cigarette once or take one puff, it doesn't necessarily make you a smoker. But if you do it long enough, you become a smoker. It means you now become the thing that you once participated in. You now identify yourself as that. You are now identified as that. If you do it compulsively, if you can't stop yourself from doing it, if you this is just what you do. You now become the thing that you once were a participant in. You can become the person who talks to themselves like you can't even control it, in the sense of you get cut off by somebody. Man, everything's working for my good. Everything is working for my highest and best good. You become addicted to what you say to yourself, to your concept of yourself, to the way you think your world is and should be, and how things go for you. It doesn't matter what presents in your life. You'd be like, so if somebody offered me a cigarette, I don't smoke. Doesn't matter if somebody offered me something. That wouldn't work for me. That would not change my behavior or would not be enticing to me. That wouldn't move me. So if you're walking around saying everything and everyone is working for my highest and best good, and you pull out of your driveway and somebody's streaking down the street and they honk the horn at you and look at you all crazy, you're like, oh man, everything is working for my highest and best good, even them too. Instead of flying all out your pants and flying all out your seat and honking back and chasing them down, and you got to give them the finger and they got to give you the finger, and then you got to run up on their bumper, then they cut you. Instead of doing all that, everything is working for my highest and best good. You stay in your frame. Yeah. Because you're an addict to your own good news, to your own good mind, to your own good peace and good joy. You don't let somebody else who's addicted to something else entice you. Somebody could smoke for 30 years and offer me a cigarette. That's their life. That's cool, but that's not my life. So I'm like, hey man, appreciate it. No, thank you. I don't smoke. I'm not gonna go down and be like, oh, you shouldn't do that. And so when somebody cuts you off and acts all crazy, you ain't got to say, no, you shouldn't do that by honking at them, giving them the finger and riding all up on them. You got your kids in the back and they like, mom, slow down. And you're like, I'm gonna give them a piece of my mind and all that other stuff. Most of us don't. Let me just stop you on this one too. Stop trying to give everybody a piece of your mind, because most of us don't have enough of our right mind to give any of it away. So keep everything you got. Till you got enough to spare, keep what you got. Stop trying to give stuff you ain't got, in my best English. So just knock that off. Let me just sidebar and digress and say that. But now back on the regular schedule program. The whole point is, right, you intoxicate yourself with your good, so that when the alternate in the world, when the alternative is presented to you, you're not enticed by it. You're not taken out of your frame. But if you're not addicted to your good, so to speak, if you're not intoxicated by it, if it's not something you've conditioned yourself to be to the point where nothing outside of you changes that, then something will change it quick. Something good enough, strong enough, hard enough, enticing enough, quick. Whether it's opinion about yourself, whether it's opinion about your business, somebody else's opinion will become more important than yours. You'll be enticed by somebody else with a different lifestyle. They offer you a cigarette and you'll be like, why not? Of course, why not? If you don't know who you are, why not? That's true. Why not? Why not? Meaning, like I said, I'm not even saying cigarettes are bad. I'm just saying when you're enticed by anything you don't normally do, right? That you're not seeking out for yourself, and somebody just offers you something. If you don't know who you are, why not? Right. Why not? Hey, I'm going this way, follow me. Why not? Only kids do that. That's why we make sure kids don't go off with other people, right? When they're super little, right? Same thing. Only the immature mind starts chasing stuff it doesn't even know what it is, right? But if you don't have any self-concept, if you don't know who you are, why not? So saying all that to say, right? You can intoxicate yourself with your good like people do with drinking, smoking, and anything else they do. And they don't stop until they get what they want. And I'm encouraging you to do the same. Intoxicate yourself with the good news for yourself of whatever you want to do or be or have. And you keep sipping and smoking until that's all it is for you. Until it has a physical effect in your world. Until your bank account changes, till your blood pressure changes, till your relationships change, till your hair changes, till your eyes change, till your vision changes, till your teeth change, to whatever it is that you're sipping and smoking for, you keep going. To whatever you started talking for and about, you keep going until you get the physical effect. Until that thought intoxicates your mind. It literally fills your mind and expels everything else. There's no room for it. There's no room for it. All right. Anybody want to say about that?
Yeah, I wanted to mention or like highlight like the amount of energy that it takes to sustain that thought, whatever it is, right? Even if it's just one thought.
Yes.
I just wanted to mention that because
Yes.
when I hear that, I'm saying like, when I hear what you're saying, I'm thinking like, you're doing something every day. You're thinking that thought every day, despite whatever the circumstances are. And then you are the generator. You are the person that's holding up this idea. So then I'm thinking like, wow, that's a lot of energy. That's the first thing I thought. Yeah.
I told my brother was a quarterback, so I always use kind of analogies or metaphors to people who, based on who they are, so they can understand it. And I said, okay, so to your point, I said to my brother, I said, well, how many 7-step drops? How many footwork drills? How much is too much to be what you want?
True.
And that's number one. How much is too much? Is it how many? Is it, well, I can only do this 10 times. What if it takes 11? You're not going to do it? What if it takes 15? You're not going to do it? How much is too much to be what you want? That's number one. And number two, guess what? You're either doing what you want or doing what you don't want, but you're doing something. There is no third thing. It's either are or aren't. That's it. There's no third thing. There's no thing like you can hide in the middle and be like, well, I'm just neutral. It doesn't work like that. Your mind doesn't work like that. If it did, I wish it would, but it doesn't. You either are something or you aren't. The reason we struggle is because what we want to be, we don't yet believe ourselves to be. So we're fighting we're fighting to get what we want because we're believing that we aren't what we want. But that is the whole point of continuing to talk to yourself. Faith comes by hearing, right? That's the whole point, is so that you start to feel yourself as this thing, right? Bro, what's your name? I don't know.
Della.
Devin?
Della.
Della.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you were 6 weeks old and they said Della, right? And 6 months old, 2 years old, and they said Della. Well, how did you realize that was your name?
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, but then at 2 years old, when they said Della, didn't you turn around?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably, right? So then how did you realize that was your name?
Repetition.
Repetition. So now, let's just say, I'm going to say it a little bit differently than I normally say it. Did you come out and introduce yourself when you were born? Like, hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Della. Nice to meet you.
Oh, no.
No. So that means what you believe your name is Della. But only because they kept calling you that and you started realizing they were talking to you, right?
Exactly.
So then you only believe your name is Della because of what you heard enough. So then what's the difference between now you choosing your name or you choosing what you want to hear enough of and you saying it to yourself? They chose a name, let's say, and they gave it to you and then they kept telling you that so you believed it. Why don't you choose a name and keep telling yourself so you can believe it? It's going to be the same thing. The only difference is who's talking to you. Is it your parents and your family saying Della, or is it you saying Della? Is it your parents and your family saying you're healthy, or is it you saying you're healthy? You learn things the same way. There's no other option. So the whole point of this Saturday class, right, is to get people to understand that you can do the same thing that you're relying on other people to do. That you are your salvation. You are your savior. You have all the ability to make every change in your world, that you're sitting around like the guy, the paralyzed guy at the pool in the Bible, where he's sitting around there for 38 years waiting for somebody to save him. That savior is you. It's in you, as you, right? So the only reason you believe your name is Della, because that's all that's been presented to you. You don't have any facts. You can't be like, you know what, I signed the birth certificate, so yeah, that's me.
Mhm.
You didn't come out and be like, yeah, I'm letting y'all know my name is Della, so just act accordingly. Right? You only believe it because people kept telling you. So then you just believe what you're told. My point to you is, why don't you tell yourself? Why don't you believe yourself then? Why can't you tell yourself something you want to believe? Why can they tell you and you believe it, but you can't tell and you believe it, and it's you? If you can't convince you, how are you ever going to live a good life? You meaning all of us. How are you ever going to be what you want if we can't convince ourselves that we can and that we should? How do we do that? We're always believing something. It's just just how we got to believe. Was it self-created or was it introduced by someone else? There is no alternative. We either got the information ourselves or somebody gave it to us. There is no alternative. Is there a third way? Right? So then we have to start choosing then what information we're going to live on, because it's all believed until we apply it, right?
Yeah.
It's all believed until we apply it. So the point is then, what do you believe? Well, then the point is, who's choosing what you believe? Why can't it be you? Why can't it be you or you or you or all of us on this call and on this screen? Why can't it be you? Why does it have to be your mom or your dad or your brother or your boss or your cousin or the police or the government or politicians? Why does it always have to be everyone else that gets to tell us what we are? But we're all grown. Just about everybody on here is grown. And everybody that is grown will say they're grown in a minute, won't they?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm grown. Oh, I don't do that. Oh, I'm grown. Girl, don't play with me. I'm grown. Boy, don't play with me. I'm grown. Oh boy, we'll put the grown thing on everything. It's almost like Robitussin, just using it for everything. Vicks, that's it. For everything. Right? And so my point to you is that we're always believing something. There is no alternative. You either believe in you are something or you're not. And the belief you have in whether you are or not is largely governed by what somebody else told you that you believed. So the belief you believe is believed. You can't get around it. So the only thing you can choose is who you believe and what you believe. And I'm saying to you that as you mature, you have to start believing in you the most and first. And then as a result of that, choosing what you the most and first is going to believe about themselves. I believe in me the most about this the most. When God said, let there be light, is anybody helping? Were there any volunteers? Was there some kind of board that they went to and said, can you vote on it? Was there some elections? Was somebody donating anything? No. Right? That's you is my point. We're always believing something. There's no alternative. So now you, the believer, have to realize that you are and have the power to believe whatever you want. Choose what that is. And yes, that is grown. That is freedom. So when people say, oh, we have free will, yeah, this is the free will. The free will is not in action. The free will is in choice. It's in decision. It's the ability to choose what it is you want to express. The expression is automatic based on the choice. The expression comes with the choice. The behaviors come with the choice. The action that people take, people talk about taking, take action. That action you take is based on the choice you've made. The choice you made is mental. It's based on who you believe yourself to be and what you believe your outcomes are. And all your actions will align with that. You don't have a choice on those. That's not where your freedom lies. Your freedom is mental. It's expressed physically. You don't have physical freedom. You only have mental freedom. Because that's where freedom is. That's what freedom is. Physical is the expression of what it is. It's not actual.
Got you.
Got you? Good.
Yeah.
All right, good. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Oh,
And that's
yeah.
for everybody. That's for everybody. So I'm glad people ask. All right. This will lead me right to the next one. Let's see.
Coach Lucky, real quick, you are the how do I say this? You are the like human form of a Tesla charging station where the best of the best vehicles, right? They come here to get recharged. We come here to like get ready for our weeks. We come here to get ready to like prepare for the rest of the world. And like every week, you bring us when we need to leave with a full battery. And it's not because like we all depend on you, it's just that you are the source of a specific type of recharge. We have the ability to do what you're doing, but we are all grateful. That's why we show up every week and we send the link to others to join to get some of this refueling. But you are charging up the best of the best cars, the new age cars. Like you're just amazing. Like your delivery is unique. You got to get your flowers. You deserve those flowers. Vero, thank you. Every week. I'm gonna tell y'all every week.
Oh, thank you.
Just to add on that beautiful statement by the femininity fairy, Sparkle Bailey, please say Bailey. Just wanted to tell you, ever since I didn't make my team and I was at a really down state, I want to say I appreciate you for all the videos, all the text messages you sent me to keep my head up and to keep working. And so I just wanted to say, I personally, genuinely do appreciate it. Speaking from on my behalf, thank you.
Yes, sir. My honor and pleasure. Thank you both. And thank you all. Like I said, it's always an honor and pleasure for you guys to allow me to come up here every Saturday and run my mouth incessantly for 2 hours and be up here sweating and everything. All right. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. You know, Veronica will tell you, and anybody who's super close to me will tell you, this is what I love talking about more than anything, And so I appreciate being able to share my love of something with you all and how much that you all take it and apply it to life in the ways that are most meaningful and happen and happy for you. So that's wonderful. So now kind of going off of Della's point, the kind of the end of that conversation, it's going to lead us, dovetail us right into something else. So let's see, who haven't I called on for a while? Yeah, you know what? Ooh, you know perfectly. Let's see. Cynthia.
No, Cynthia's not here.
She's not here? Oh, I know that, but I don't know if she's around.
Oh.
I mean, can I at least attempt to attack somebody?
I got you. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, see? Yeah, Justin, like it. Everybody can get this. Oh, that's perfect. Oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's right. That's right. See, nobody's safe. If you on the call, man, you're not safe. I'm looking for everybody.
Hello.
That's right. That's right. If you don't want to get called, don't be home. You know, that's right. I'm looking for everybody. How you doing?
Good morning. Good. How are you doing?
Good, good. Okay, so I'm going to use you as the experiment this morning for a concept I want us to work on a little bit. So, okay, and I want everybody to get this. I want everybody to really focus in on it. All right. So, Cynthia.
Yes.
What is your name?
Cynthia.
Cynthia. Okay. So I heard you, but we're doing it again. All right. So what is your name?
Cynthia Talbot.
Okay. What is your name?
A real estate educator.
Right. Okay. So I know I'm tricky. I know I'm tricky. Right. Okay. So how you did it is what I'm leading it to. Right. Now, when you said Cynthia, that's correct. Now, the next thing you said was, so Cynthia is who you are. Now, say you want to be something else, and you just said real estate educator, right? If I said to not this Veronica, but the other Veronica, if I said, Veronica, what is your name? You say Veronica. And then you say whatever it is you want to be, right? Whatever it is you're choosing to be. So Cynthia said Cynthia. Then she said real estate educator. So now, Cynthia, do you say, my question to you is, do you say real estate educator with the same, I'll just use the word energy, with the same energy that you say Cynthia? Do you describe yourself as the real estate educator with the same energy that you describe yourself as Cynthia? Like when you say Cynthia, is there any doubt in your mind that's who you are?
No.
When you say real estate educator, do you say it with that same energy?
I'm learning to.
Yes. So what is the answer? You either are or you're not.
I'm sorry, you broke. What did you say?
Yep. I said, do you say real estate educator with the same energy you said Cynthia?
No. I don't.
That
Sometimes
gap.
I don't know. I'm learning. I don't know.
Is your name Cynthia sometimes? Justin,
No.
there's a problem. Justin,
Okay, I'm
Suspicion.
going back in.
right? So Cynthia is your name when?
All the time.
All the time. Monday,
I am
Tuesday,
Cynthia. I am Cynthia all the time.
right. So
So
then,
I am Cynthia
right. Okay. So that means if you're now, you said the real estate educator, when is that?
all the time.
And with the same energy that you are Cynthia,
Yes.
close the gap. There is no difference. You are who you are, or you aren't who you aren't. There is no difference. The name doesn't matter. Real estate educator doesn't matter. Cynthia is not really who you are, just what you're believing yourself to be. Real estate educator is not really who you are, just what you're believing yourself to be. Who you really are is I am, playing both roles. But I am is playing the role of Cynthia, 100% undoubted, no chaser, no cap, no hat, all true. Real estate educator could be just the same as Cynthia. It doesn't have to be any less real, strong, true, 100%, but you have to know that. There is no difference between Cynthia and real estate educator, period. So whatever you choose to be, say that the same way you say your name. Cynthia, real estate educator. Veronica, whatever you say. This Veronica, whatever you say. Gavin, whatever you say. Mona, whatever you say. Sparkle Bailey, whatever you say. Monique, whatever you say. Johnny, whatever you say. What is your name and who are you? Those have to be the same. Close the gap. Stop thinking it's something different. You're not Cynthia. That's not really who you are, just what you're believing yourself to be. And the only reason you think you're Cynthia is because you believe yourself to be so completely that you don't even believe it's not true. And that's perfect. That's correct. And I'm telling you now to do the same thing with real estate educator. And you will see that that's what you are 7 days a week, 24 hours, I don't care if your head hurts, back hurts, it's raining, it's snowing, it's sunny. You're happy, Justin made you mad, doesn't matter. You're Cynthia every moment of every day of every second. You are the real estate educator every moment of every day of every second, as long as that's what you want to be. Right? And just like there's an outcome of Cynthia, when you say the name Cynthia, there is something. Well, when you say the thing real estate educator, you decide what that is. That means I sell 10 homes every month. That means I got 150 clients at all times, or a 6-month waiting list. Cynthia is this. The real estate educator is this. They are both the same. The real estate educator is just as real as Cynthia, period. No less. No more, no less. They're both governed and driven by the same power, believing itself to be something. And so the power we have is the ability to choose how the power is used. The power we have in what we call our humanity, the power we have is the ability to choose how the power is used. We get to choose what I am is. We get to choose what I am does. We get to choose that. So I use Cynthia, but I want everybody to understand Cynthia is what she is, believe herself to be every moment until she gets out of that body. Well, the real estate educator is who you are every moment until you get out of that body, until you want or need to change it. Change it to something else if you want. Add on to it, but that's who you are. It needs to be said with the same certainty, firmness, authority, clarity, no double-mindedness in your mind. Not if the economy's good, not if the weather's good, not if the kids behave, it's who you are. And when you can close that gap, when that is who you are like that, you will see whatever that real estate educator means to you. If it's 10 houses a month, if it's 150 clients, if it's a 6-month waiting list to talk to you, to get your attention, if it's whatever it is to you. Close the gap. There is no difference, right? That is what it is. That's all it is unless you change it. Right? Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much. I'm writing down everything you're saying. I'm writing notes. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So yeah, I just, wanted to harass you this morning. It's been a minute. All right. So thank you, Cynthia. Thank you. Right? So Cynthia is everyone here. Right. Cynthia is everyone here. Your name is this, and I am this. Your name is this, and I have that. Your name is this, and things go like this for me. Your name is whatever. Your name is this, and this is this. I am this, and I have this. I am this, and I do this. I am this, and things work like this for me. And so you say it over and over, just like you said your name or heard your name over and over, and eventually you believed it. You didn't have to, it's not, you don't have to believe it when you first say it. You didn't believe your name was that. You just kept hearing it. You're like, I guess they talking to me. Here's these crazy people talking to me. Guess my loud uncle's talking to me, right? I guess my mom's talking to me. Oh, here she goes again, right? Right. It's the same. You just believe it because you kept hearing it. So now you choose what you hear. You start talking to you. I am Veronica, the other one. I am Veronica and I'm this. I am Sparkle Bailey and I'm this. I am Mona and I have this. I am Marcus and I am this. I am Monique and I am this. I am Latoya and I am this. I am Amanda and I am this. I'm Karen and I am this. Those are the same. They're not different. Don't dilute them. Don't change them. Don't alter them. They're the same. You just, one, you've grown up knowing. This one, now you're going to become aware of knowing. This is now you grew up using the lights. Guess what, Della? Now you paying the light bill. That's what it is now. You are now the person in charge of your own future. In charge, it's not your parents anymore. You don't just get to use the lights and leave them on all day, right? Now you got to pay for that light bill, right? When we mature, we now pay by owning our own mentality, by choosing our own mind. That's the payment of the bill. I am Della and I am this. I am Johnny and I have this. My business is like this. I am Johnny. I am a multimillionaire. I am Johnny. I have a successful business. I am Johnny and everything is easy for me. I am Della and I'm this. I am Veronica. I am this and I have this. I am this and I do this. I am this and things are like this for me. Period. Don't water it down. Don't dilute it. Don't overthink it. You don't know anything that you didn't believe first. Everything comes by hearing. You say it over and over and you believe it, a lie included. So choose the truth, because a lie enslaves you and the truth sets you free. Choose. I am this and I have this, or I do this, or I be this. Okay. Does that make sense? Anybody have anything they want to say about that? Somebody say that.
No,
Okay.
unmuted, but I wasn't sure.
Okay. Anybody have anything they want to say about that before I move forward? No? Okay. All right. The farmer, the field, and finessing. All right. So I've used this before, this analogy, talking about a gardener and their garden. It's kind of the same thing, the farmer and the field. All right. So who is the farmer?
They said we are.
Okay. So the farmer is you.
I am.
Yep, is you. I am, is you. Farmer is all of you, all of us individually. We are all the farmers. Farmer is you. What is the field?
The mind?
Our
The
life.
The mind. The mind. The Garden of Eden is your mind. You are the people that were put in the Garden of Eden. You put yourself in the Garden of Eden. I am is in the Garden of Eden. Your mind is the field.
What does finesse have to do with
Okay.
farmer and
All right.
field?
Okay. So you know how somebody help me out here. Like when we're saying somebody's finessing something, or they're trying to finesse you.
I got you. This is
Go
my
ahead.
leg. I got you. So the difference between working smarter and working harder is how you approach the goal.
Mhm.
If you decide that you want to work hard because that's all you know, that's all you've ever seen, then you don't understand your ability to attract what you desire, rather than work so hard and stress yourself out and not even enjoy the benefits of what you created or what you worked for because you worked so hard. You ran yourself in the ground versus working smarter, where you get to enjoy the fruits of your efforts or your attractions. So you don't have to work so hard when you understand your ability to attract. That makes sense.
Okay. That's pretty good. Veronica, the other Veronica. The one on TV.
I'm here.
Finessing. When
Someone
somebody
is
finesse
trying,
you, what does that mean?
they're trying to get you to do what they want you to do and
Mhm.
make you think that that's your plan. Like you wanted to do what they wanted you to do.
Okay, so they're trying to get you to do something, right? And by trying to get you to do something, they're presenting you with something, right? An option or an idea. They're right. They're trying to get you to buy what they're selling, so to speak, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, finesser. So if I am and the field, so I am, the mind is my field, my mind is the field. Who is the finesser?
The world?
The news.
Are you guys looking at the board?
I am, said Sparkle Bailey.
Yeah.
The world?
Are you looking at the board? I am, mind, the feet, like I am, it's your mind, it's you, it's your mind. Who is the finesser?
Me, I am all day,
Yes.
every day. Me.
Yes. Yes, you are the finesser. What does that
I
mean?
got you.
What does that mean? It means, right? It means, I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Oh, no, I guess you meant the other way around, because I thought finesser was like me trying to have, like, let me try and make you believe what I want you to believe.
Yeah.
But I thought you meant it from like the other way around, I guess. Like the world's trying to make me believe something, but they're trying to finesse me. My ESL kicked in.
No, they're both true, right? But finessing you, right, is not the same thing as strong arming you. They're not making you do anything, they're finessing you. So that means you still have the ability to say yes or no.
Yeah.
So you finessing yourself. You are the finesser. You are the person that, oh, it doesn't matter what comes, it doesn't matter who comes in, doesn't matter who comes to your house and knocks on the door. Do you have to let them in?
Nope.
So somebody coming up to your house and knocking on your door, are they finessing you? They may be attempting to, but are they finessing you like they can get away with it?
No.
So then who is finessing you? Who opened the door?
Okay, I'm back.
Right? You're finessing yourself. So what I mean by that is, it says in the book, be not deceived. God is not mocked. Whatever a mind or a man sows, that it shall reap. Right? So God, I am, is not mocked. Whatever you sow in your mind, you are going to reap. Whatever ideas and thoughts that you hold and believe to be true, right? You are going to get the outcome of that. Now, how do we finesse ourselves? How do we finesse ourselves? We start telling ourselves stuff and believing stuff that we don't even want the outcome of. We start thinking that we can think anything and say anything and believe anything. We can plant anything and a certain thing come up. Well, it's okay. So a seed, another word for seed is what?
Your thought?
A thought. So when you have a thought, that is a seed. And when you emotionalize or you accept that thought, you have now planted. So when you have the thought of, it's hard out here, not enough money, I can't get by without my medicine, whatever it is, whatever that thought is, you're now planting that in your mind. And when you get an outcome you don't want, you want to get an attitude, or you want to be upset, or you want to feel like a victim, or you want to say, I can't believe this happened. But no farmer plants an orange seed and then the orange tree comes up with oranges on it and says, I can't believe this didn't happen. Only the finesser does that. Only the person who tells themselves, well, you know what? It doesn't really matter what I think. I'm a good person. Oh, it doesn't really, it's hard out here. I'm just keeping it real. Right? Oh, it's not what you know, it's who you know. You need to know the right person if you want to get ahead. Okay, all of those are thoughts, all those are seeds that you're planting in your mind that are going to come out just as you put them in. They're going to be the physical reflections of what you put in. And when you finesse yourself into thinking that you can think anything, any type of way, and then think you're going to get the outcome you desire, no matter how you think, you have finessed yourself. You are the greatest finesser of all time, because we always have to choose what we believe. People can say anything to you. People can present anything to you, but you ultimately have to accept it for it to become a part of your world. For it to become the seed that's going to crop up in your mind as physical experience, physical expression. And we have finessed ourselves to believe we are the farmer with the field, finessing ourselves to believe all manner of ridiculousness. Of things that you can't, if you said that, well, my back is always hurt. My knee always hurts when it rains. Oh God, my back hurts every time I work in my garden, my back hurts. If you think that you can think that thought and believe that to be true, and you're just keeping it real by saying it, you're just acknowledging the truth, and think that your back is not going to hurt the next time, you have finessed yourself. You have made yourself believe that what you believe is just keeping it real, but it's not going to have any consequence. But everything you believe has a consequence. That's the whole point and value of believing. That's what beliefs do. Beliefs are the precursor to expression, just like a seed is the precursor to the tree. Yes.
Sparkle Bailey is asking, she put, confidence gets mistranslated as cockiness, but why shouldn't you be cocky or intoxicated with affirming yourself? Serious question.
So yes, it gets misinterpreted because it's based on the interpreter. Some people's self-esteem can't handle, hey, how you doing? Oh man, I'm doing great. I'm blessed and highly favored, like people say. Oh God, here she goes again. Some people can't handle that. Some people can't handle, hey, Johnny, how's your business doing? Man, thanks for asking. We're doing well, man. I sold out this month and I sold out for 2 months in a row. And next month, oh man, we'll slow down. Things, there's always a good and a bad. There's always yin and yang, when they're don't wait for the other shoe to drop, right? Do you know that there's a thing that's getting ready to go into the DSM, the basically the manual for like mental illness and things like that? Do you know there's a thing now they're getting ready to put in called cheerophobia? Cheerophobia is basically the fear of being too happy. This is too good to last. Haven't we said that? It's too good to last. Yeah, cheerophobia. No, it's a real thing. Like, well, they're trying to make it a real thing. You're afraid to be too happy. It's a real thing. They're trying to put into the next manual. I think it's what the DSMR. I think it's 5 or 6 now. One of the two. But it's a real thing. You can't make it up. It's okay. There you go. Okay. DSM. Okay. Yes. Yeah. I'm telling you.
Tell me something.
Cheerophobia. Can you believe that? Right. So my point is that, but you know why that's possible? Because everything's possible in the garden. There's a thought for everything. There's a seed for everything. You can plant any seed in the field of your mind. Everything is possible. You can make yourself sick or happy, but only you can do that. You can make yourself wealthy or poor, but only you can do that. What you're born into has nothing to do with you. That was somebody else's behaviors and actions. That's not something that you have to maintain. You could be born into a whole lot of stuff that you don't have to stick with or stay with. And as you mature, you understand that and you realize, you know what? I'm going to make a different choice. I'm going to plant a different seed. In California, living in the Bay Area now, but being from Southern California, it's a 5-hour drive from north to south. And in the middle, there's Central California. That's like Fresno and a lot of other smaller cities you guys wouldn't know anything about if you're not in California, but maybe Fresno, some of you heard of. And it's the Central Valley. So this is where a lot of agriculture and almonds and cherries and a lot of stuff out in California that's grown in California is grown. And it's just fields and fields and fields forever. And on this side, it's all cherries. This side, you can literally see what people have done. The people who have done it are nowhere around there, but you see a whole field that's grown up. So when you plant a thought in your mind and you walk off and think it's just over, oh man, today's going to be a hard day. Then you walk outside and go to work and have the hardest day of your life, but you forgot that you said it. Okay. Yeah, but I never saw the farmer who planted those trees. But when I'm driving down the 5, I see all the trees the farmer planted. All them seeds popped up. They are reality. They're reality. I don't know who planted it. It could have been a man, a woman. A cat could have put the seed in there. I don't know. but I know I can tell what they did. I can tell somebody did something by what is on the outside. Right? So my point is that we cannot finesse ourselves. We are the farmer with a field. We are a thinking processing center, and our mind is the field that we're using those thoughts, those seeds to keep putting things in that are going to crop up in your life. And you are finessing yourself. We finesse ourselves too much into thinking we can think all manner of garbage, sickness, stupidity, ridiculousness, ratchetness, dumbness, and everything else, and think we're going to have a beautiful garden. Think we're going to have some fruit and some trees and some stuff that we can eat off of. And we ain't planting nothing but disaster, fatigue, fear, anxiety, stress. Well, I'm just here, but everybody's scared of something. Okay, dummy, go ahead and plant that then. See how that work out for you. See, sometimes I just don't have no patience for the dumb. I can't do it. Because what are you going to get from that? What are we going to get from entertaining each other? Everybody's afraid of something. You afraid? Yeah, I'm afraid. But everybody's afraid of something, so it's okay. Okay, what is that going to do? Okay, now what you got? So you planted that. Let's wait for that to come up. So now you got something to really be afraid of. Remember back in the day, like if you used to get a spanking, right? And you thought you were going to get one, or you got one and you were crying and your parents say, you better stop crying before I really give you something to cry about. Yeah. Remember that back in the day? Yeah, yeah. Okay. So now you planted this seed, and now you're going to have something that's going to pop up to give you something really to be afraid about. You thought you had a problem with the thought. Wait till the tree come up. Wait till the fruit come up. Wait till your vineyard pops up. Right? Stop finessing yourself. I'm talking to me too. Stop finessing yourself. Stop thinking you can think any old type of thing, any old type of way because of what everyone else says, what everyone else thinks and everything. It doesn't matter what the news says. It doesn't matter what the world says. That doesn't matter. You have to choose what matters. I'm not saying if they say it's going to rain, that you don't have to say, oh, it ain't going to rain on me. No, I'm just saying the rain don't make you sick. You can go outside with your hair wet if you want to get the newspaper. You're not going to catch cold. Okay? Like it's just knock it off. Yeah, just knock it off, right? Like if you have some chips, your pressure ain't going to go up. Not involuntarily, but it will voluntarily. But you don't realize that your involuntary is voluntary. You have to, you are choosing every moment of every day what your physical expression is by the thoughts that you hold and have held. And there is a harvest time for everything. Stop finessing yourself. You are the farmer. You're the thinker with all these thoughts and these seeds that you're planting in your Garden of Eden, in your mind, and they are going to pop up. So you better be wise and be careful. Stop finessing yourself and thinking that what you think is okay, you're just keeping it real, you're just telling the truth, I'm just being honest. It's not. Poverty is not honest. Rich is honest. Wealth is honest. Abundance is honest. Sickness is not honest. Health is honest. Health is the truth. Abundance is the truth. How many stars are there in the sky? Anybody counted them all yet? How much water's in the ocean? Anybody figured that out yet? How many leaves are there in the forest? People counting them? Like the earth, nature, what is natural is more than enough. And you are natural. You are the creator of nature. So how is you being short, meaning not having enough, how is that natural? Why is that real? Why is that reality? Why are you keeping it real? How are you just telling the truth? You're lying in ignorance, but you're still lying. That's not the way it works. That's not the way you made everything else work, where there's more than enough water, more than enough sun, more than enough stars, more than enough sky, but you don't have more than enough money. What's the difference between you and the sky? What's the difference? It's just in one time when you made all this other stuff, you remembered who you were. You knew who you were. When you said, let there be light, there was no doubt who you were. When you said, I am Cynthia, there's no doubt what else that means. I'm the real estate educator. I don't have enough time for everybody. I got a wait list of 6 months, people waiting to talk to me. People approaching me in the grocery store saying, hey, aren't you the one on TV with the podcast with your husband? So, oh, you gave us such great advice. I'm Johnny with the business. I always selling out. I sold out before I even get the stuff. I got a wait list of people saying, whenever it comes in, call me. They've already paid me. I already want my stuff. That way nobody can buy it in front of me. They've already paid me. I got people paying me up to a year ahead. I'm Sparkle Bailey. I am the greatest mother in the world, the greatest housewife in the world, and the greatest, coach of women in the world. Those are the thoughts that you want to pop up to be vineyards in your life. Not life is hard. This sucks. My back hurts. When it rains, my leg gives out. All this other stuff. Let that go. Stop finessing yourself and thinking you can think anything and think you're going to get something else. You're not. You are the farmer with the field of your mind and the thoughts that you're putting in them. Be wise. And that's it. I don't even know if I want to talk to you guys anymore about it. You guys got me upset. Is there anything anybody wants to say about that before I move on?
So there was a call. I had a consultation this week.
Yes.
And the client, she let me know before we got started, she let me know, I just want you to know that hearing you speak every morning drove me crazy. I did not like you. I did not like your energy. I thought you were very annoying. Just every time you spoke, you were encouraging others, you were cheering others on, and you were just extremely positive, and it drove me crazy. I talked to my sister about you because I asked her, like, what is it about this girl that I don't like? She's so positive and it gets on my nerves. And it was funny because she paid to talk to me that day. It was hilarious. And all I could do was just sit there and smile and laugh at the fact that my positivity, like you said, the whole little, whatever the symptom or whatever it's called, when you're so engulfed in you and you spread your energy, you, for whatever reason, people around you that are not there yet, they're used to chaos or gossip or negative vibes. It repels them, but it also attracts them. I'm extremely powerful. And that was just another reminder along the journey that, like, baby, you on the right path and just stay on your path. Like, your tribe is your tribe, and you're going to attract people when they're ready to grow and they're ready to heal. Those are the women that are going to come to your program. So this is, like I said, this is just a great space to get reminded every week of, you know, where we're supposed to be, what works for us, because I do attract healthy energy. I do attract people who are ready to heal and those who are healed. That's all I have room for in my life is healthy spaces. That's it. I am the ultimate safe space. I am. Thank you, Coach.
Yes. And just like you said at the end, I am the ultimate healthy, safe space. I am is that. That's why safety and health are inside jobs. Where's I am? Inside. You can't see I am. You can only see what I am is believing itself to be in physical form, a body. I am is inside. So I am the ultimate safe space. Healthy, safe space means just like where I am is, that's where health is. That's where safety is. I am safety, health, prosperity, abundance, anything that you would ever want or need is in you. It is an inside job. It's an inside job. Everything that you want comes from the inside out. That is absolutely right. Everything is that way. And when we can understand that, then we're not looking for wealth to come from the outside. We're not looking for it to come from the economy. It comes through the economy. Our concept of wealth comes through the economy. So whatever my concept of wealth is, it will find the best means to bring that to my physical existence, to my physical world, because I'm conscious of being wealthy. It may come through a client. It may come through winning a lottery. It may come through 1,000 different things, winning a sweepstakes. It may come through a donation. It may come through somebody sending me money. But your concept of yourself is always coming through things. They're not coming from things. They're coming through them. Your consciousness is always drawing the thing that physically reflects what it's conscious of, what it's aware of being. It's not coming from the thing. It's coming through it. Right? It's coming from your mind to your physical body through this medium of a fork or a knife, of a sweepstakes, of a cold, of the lottery. It's coming through something. The thought to the physical expression comes through something. Just like the water to your house comes through pipes. It doesn't come from the pipe. It comes through the pipe. Right? Your consciousness is the reservoir. Your physical, your faucet is where it's going to end up. Your thought is in your mind, that your body and your physical world is where it ends up. In the middle are all what you call the circumstances. It's what you call the medium, the things, the incidents that it comes through to get to you. Always remember that. Okay. Who can I harass right now? Yeah, I haven't seen. Okay, perfect. Natasha.
What up, coach?
What's up, Tosh? How you doing?
Good, man. How you been? Missed you
Good.
guys.
Good, good. It's good to see you. All right, you're gonna be the guinea pig for this one. This one is called, it could be any number, but it's called 10x. All right. So you still have your churro business, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this example is for everybody. I'm using Natasha, but this example is for everybody. So Tosh, I want you to think of the best customer you've had. Just like the one that you just remember the most, that you were like, oh man, this was the best experience ever. Whether for whatever that means to you, like the best one you can think of.
Got it. Okay.
All right. So in that experience, just describe just how the experience made you feel. Like what you got from that experience that made you remember them as the best one that you can remember.
Yeah, I mean, it made me happy. It made me feel like I was providing a service. I was helping someone out. Like I made a difference. Made me feel, valued and respected. Because the renter, did everything that I asked him to do, and then some. Didn't paid the toll bills. Didn't leave. Made sure the car was taken care of. Things of that nature.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So now I want everybody to understand this. This person, so this is Natasha and this is her client. I want you now to insert your name and insert something you want, but I'm going to go into this for a second. So now watch. So now, Natasha, so what I want you to do from now on is, if you look at not only that person and how they made you feel, and all these areas that you felt amazing in, which added up to why you picked this person, I want you now to make that the standard of your client. All my clients are like this and 10 times better. All my clients are like this person and 10 times better. That means they're everything that they're supposed to pay, they're going to do it 10 times better. You're going to be 10 times happier. You're going to feel like you made a difference 10 times more. You're going to feel 10 times more valued, 10 times more respected, and like 10 times more taken care of, and like you were a good provider for them. This person now is your standard. Everything is like this and 10 times better. Everything is like this and more. My clients are all like this and more. My friends are like the best person. Don't tell nobody because you don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. But everybody, think about a friend you have. Think about the best friend you have. And I don't mean literally the person you call your best friend, but the best friend you have. That now becomes your standard. All of my friends are like this person and better. I want you to think about the most money you've made in a month. All of my months are like this and better. I want you to think about the best day you had at work. All of my days are like that and better. I want you to make the best of what you have in every area of your life. And I want you to 10x it, 20x it, but I want you to set that as the standard of how things go for you in that area. Everything is like this and better. Friends, money, when you felt really healthy one day, when you felt really strong, when you hit 85 home runs in a week, right? I want you to take that day or that week, and I want you to set that as your standard. This is how baseball goes for me. On my best day, every day is like that day and better. Every day is like that and better. When you felt like you were seeing the ball particularly well, or you felt like they were throwing underhand because it was so slow, you could just see it. I want you, like every day I see balls like that and better. My business is like this and better. My health is like this and better. I want you to take the best of everything in your life, section by section. Take your money, take your health, take your relationships, take your business, take your whatever. You could be going to work one day and it felt like sometimes I'll say to myself, man, you know, I got to where I'm going like nobody woke up. You know, you get out early in the morning, there's nobody on the freeway, and something that takes you an hour to get there took you 39 minutes because you literally were the only one out there almost. Felt like, man, like it was Christmas morning or New Year's morning or something else, right? Like you take an experience and you say the best of that experience is now becomes my standard. And everything is like this and better. And you say that to yourself over and over and over. You make that your mental standard that is going, and you intoxicate yourself with that standard. This is how my business goes. This is how my friendship goes. Whatever areas, all of your areas that you're applying it to, this is what it is for me. All of my clients are like this. All of them. They make me feel 10 times better, and I make them feel 10 times better. That 10 times now is my standard. I've now taken this client. They are now my standard 10 times that. They're all like that and better. That's now my baseline. It's like you have a resting heart rate. I want you to have a resting success rate. I want you to have a resting abundance rate, a resting health rate, a resting client rate. I want you to have just a thought about yourself that this is just what it is. My best month is now every month and better. What I was once happy with is now just what it is. You take that because you've done it. You take that and now you live there. Necessity is the mother of invention. All these wonderful inventions we have is because we wanted something more than what we got, right? And we got a taste of it and we're like, oh yeah, I think this is what I want to do now for everywhere, for everything. And that's what you do. Does that make sense to everyone? We got that? Anything? Yeah, you got it, Tasha?
You got it. Yes, sir. I got it.
Awesome. All right. Anything anybody want to say about that?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can like raise your standard, right? But you still have to meet your standard, of course, right? Like getting a plan and then executing that plan and making sure that you have that type of customer, that you have that type of friendship, you have that type of income, right? Like I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, I'm not, say it again. I'm not exactly sure what you mean.
So like we can like raise our standard to ourselves, right? Like this is the type of customer that like this or more. However, I want to mention this because we can raise our standard, but we have to meet our standard too, right? You can't say this is how it is, but then perform at a certain level. So shouldn't we mention that we should find a way to meet our standard once we've raised it?
No, you raise your standard to meet it. If you had a child, would you allow them to behave the way they wanted until they decided to raise their standard? Or do you already have a standard and they meet it?
Well, if it's a child that you already have a standard and they meet it.
Right. Well, your mind is a child in the sense of when you have a new thought, it's new, but you're the thinker. You are the standard bearer. You're the one that chose this thought. So when you choose a higher thought, then now what you call your physical self will now rise to meet that thought because you now are something. I am the person that has this type of business. If I'm the person that has this type of client, I have to be the person that has this type of client. I can't be different because I won't get this person in the first place. That person won't come into your world or you won't keep them. Almost like the lottery when they say most people get money and can't keep it. Yeah, because it's not because they became rich physically, it's because they remain poor mentally. Poor people don't think about money the way rich people think about it. That's why they can't get it or keep it. Even if somebody rich gave it to them, you can't get it or keep it because you don't think like that. Right? So the only way you don't change, like I said last week. What did I say last week, if anybody remembers? Finish this statement for me. Humanity rewards you for what you do. What's the second part of that? Anybody finish that? I said it last week. Humanity rewards you for what you do.
The world rewards you for who you are.
Who?
The world rewards you for who you are.
Who rewards you for who you are? Who? Humanity rewards you for what you do.
Oh, I am rewards you for who you are.
God rewards you for who you are.
Yeah.
I am is who you are. I am is who are and believing yourself to be. You are rewarded for who you are. So when you want a better customer, you start to assume you are the person that has that customer. I am that. I am the person who runs my business like that. I'm always on time or early. If my shop opens at 8, I'm always there at 7:15, ready to rock and roll like it's 8. My shop is always clean, or I provide the most excellent, amazing service. I'm not providing it for one person or a particular person. Everybody that comes into contact with me knows what it is. Everybody loves to come in my shop. They always feel amazing about what they buy or the service I provide or whatever else it is. I am is the one doing the work. I am cannot raise the standard without being the standard. You can't separate the two. That's what I meant when I said, Cynthia, who are you? And she said, I'm Cynthia. I said, well, then what is that? The real estate educator. Who you are and what you do are the same. But you can't do so because you can't do different than what you are. By raising yourself, you have raised the standard. You are the standard. The service you provide is nothing but a reflection of yourself. Can't you tell when people hate their job? How can you tell? Right? By what they do. But it's because they hate. So you get what they do is filled with that. You are the standard. You're not raising the standard independent of yourself. You are raising the standard, which means you have become more aware of who you are and how things go for you.
I got you. So you raise your standard first.
And what is the standard?
Well, personally or just in general?
No, there's only one standard. That's you. You raise your concept of yourself. You change your concept of yourself. You go from I make 20,000 a month to now I'm making 25,000 a month. I now make 25,000 a month. Every month I make 25,000. You have raised the standard. You have raised your conception of yourself because you are the standard. And because of the standard you are, you do your business like that. Your clients come like that. Every physical thing is a reflection of your consciousness. You intoxicate yourself to have a physical effect, right? So when you have changed your mind, right? When you are now sipping again and inhaling again, you are altering your state of mind. When you alter your state of mind, you're going to alter your physical expressions and interactions because your physicality is a reflection of your mentality. That's why people drink and smoke, is to change their brain chemistry, which then changes their physical experience. When you change your brain chemistry from 20,000 to 25,000, you are going to alter your physical experience. You are the standard. Everything is a reflection of you in your world. So when you change, your world changes. You can't change the world. You only change what it's reflecting to you. You don't change the mirror, you change your outfit. You change yourself and what's reflected to you will change. Because you are the garment wearer. You are the person choosing what you're wearing, the person choosing what you're believing yourself to be. That is what's being reflected back to you in the world. You can't change the mirror and go get, I don't like this, what this mirror is showing me. Go get another one. It's going to show you the same thing because you haven't changed. Once you change, your reflection changes. The mirror is no different than your money, than your health, than your business, than anything else. People try to change their business while they remain the same. People try to change their health while they have the same thoughts. People try to change their money while they still say I'm broke. People try to change the outside world while they remain the same because changing the outside world is easier to do. People will get 3 jobs before they change how they feel about money, before they change how they feel about how easy it is, or before they change their mind, they will try to work their behind. And that's why most people's behind is ground down to the bone. You either change your mind or you wear out your behind. It's up to you, right? Change your mind, and your mind will lead you just like a navigation system to the most effective and efficient way to your destination.
Got you. Okay. Excellent. Okay, I got you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I have a question. When it comes to others who are not tapped into themselves as much, so they could be like of a religious nature, or they could be just more of like an independent nature, because I know people they practice all sorts of religions.
Yes.
And we've established like really close relationships over the years. And so it's challenging to be like, I'm just going to cut this person off. But as a Pisces, I can cut people off very easily. It's a skill that I'm proud to have. However, when I invest in relationships, I'm committed. And so I'm wondering, do you bring those people along for the, like, say, for example, say you send this link out to a lot of people, right? Yeah. For this call. And the reason you send the link out, the intention is throughout the week, I hear you vent, I hear you complain, I hear your confusion, I hear where you're lacking, and I want to pour into you. Mm-hmm. Or I want you to receive from my overflow. I don't want to pour into you. I just want you to receive from my overflow. These calls help add to my overflow. Mm-hmm. So I want to share that with the people that I love and care for. Mm-hmm. So when those people are determined that, you know, man, it's going to be a hard day. Man, I don't never have no money. Man, like all people do is just da-da-da-da-da-da for money and da-da-da. Everything is so hard. Why I got to be, when you hear that from people who you love, do you just cut them off, Coach Lucky, or do you just kind of like, you know, distance yourself slowly, or do you just continue shining your light? Like, what do you do? Because I'm not here to save the world. I'm not here for that. That's too big a responsibility. We're going to help each other. I'm not going to save the world. So I'm a little confused there. I would love some guidance.
Mm-hmm. So it's a little bit of all of them. Just depends on who it is, right? If you're, so anytime, okay, thank you. Anytime you have anything good in your life, you want to share it. I don't care if it's religion. I don't care if it's your favorite restaurant. I don't care if it's a movie that you saw. You want to share something that you found valuable. That's not religious. That has nothing. It's just the principle of, hey, I found something good and I want to share it with the people that I love, that, you know, with someone good. But everybody doesn't like what you like. It doesn't matter whether it's a plate of food. It doesn't matter whether it's a thought. It doesn't matter whether it's a new pair of shoes. And you introduce it to them because you liked it. But that doesn't obligate them to liking it, right? So when that happens, you have to, one, be okay with letting people be who they are, because you want to be who you are. And just like you don't want to have to stop being positive and all the things you are because someone else wants to be the opposite, doesn't mean that you get to make them what you want them to be any more than what they want you to be. So one, you have to be okay with being who you are and understanding that you got the right and the time to come to that, and so should they. Number one. Number two, by shining your light, there's nothing better than a good example. Nothing better than a good example. When the sun is out, it doesn't have to say I'm out. You can just see it. You can feel it. You can see it. Whether it's the stars in the sky, the moon at night, the sun, there's nothing better than being. Just being. The sun ain't ever talked to anybody, not that I heard, or the moon, or the stars, but everybody knows they're there because of the way they shine. So there's nothing better than just being an example of something, whatever that is. Number two. Number three, I have done this on many a times. Like your son said, I sent him several links and things like that this week and whatever else it is. I send stuff to people all the time. I know what my intentions are when I send it, but that is their choice on how they receive it and what they do with it, right? But I am much less judgmental and critical of people when we don't see eye to eye on something, but I'm also much less tolerant. What I mean is I don't entertain a bunch of stuff. If you call me talking crazy, looking crazy, acting crazy, we all have moments where we need to vent and things like that. That's fine. But if I know you're just talking about something that you want to keep talking about and you have no desire to change it, then I'm not obligated to sit on the phone with you and hear you complaining all day and all night, because I'm not doing that for me. I'm not sitting around saying life sucks and my back hurts and head hurts and this or that or the other, so to speak. So I don't want to sit around and hear from someone else either. If I don't get to do it, I don't want to hear you doing it. Right. And so I'm not mad at you for doing it. I'm not doing it, but not because I don't want to or I wouldn't, just because I'm at a place where I know that I'm the field and the farmer and I'm not going to finesse myself. Right. I know that I can't just keep running my mouth recklessly and get the good desire that I want. So a lot of people aren't there. Sometimes people aren't there. So you just kind of have to a certain degree, depending on who it is, you may have to just distance yourself a little bit, or, all right, girl, you know what, I'm gonna call you back in a little bit, or, you know what, I hope you feel better. But you have to, it is your field. You can't let rats run through it, foxes run through it, squatters sit in it and lay all on your plants. You kind of have to, you have to protect your peace. You do have to do that. So a lot of people, I know a lot of people, but a lot of people can't say they talk to me on a regular basis because I don't talk to everybody. It doesn't mean I'm better. It just means I know I'm in charge of my own field. And I can't let everybody who's a different type of farmer than I am plant whatever they think is good or whatever's in their mood, or I can't let them plant their truth. I can't let them plant their feelings, their emotions, their traditions, their customs, their alternate habits, I'll say. I won't even say bad habits, but I'll say their alternate habits. You can't do that. That's why Wallace Waddles said, you owe no man anything that will prevent you from making the most of yourself. So what you try to do is you know, you're mindful and respectful, but you realize when somebody's just going a little too far, you just have to say, okay, well, no problem. You know, I sent you the link. My brother's notorious. My brother he'll send some links to some people about something. If he don't get on, he'll cut them off, and I'm the master of cut off. He will cut it off quick. He's like, well, I don't want to hear it. So, you know, we all, I think, do it in little points in time, but I think we have to just use some wisdom and discretion, meaning everybody has a right to come to the light whenever they do, right? It's not about us, it's just about the truth, but everybody isn't always ready to do that. Sometimes people are just in a state of complaining, and people don't change until they're made to, most likely, especially after about 35. There's multiple studies on that. Unless there's trauma of some kind, a life-altering event, a poor health, new job, or fire, like people a lot of times get set in their ways. And so sometimes it's not you that's able to shake them out of it. Sometimes life or someone else or something else has to do that. So being a good example of what it is you want to be or do or have a lot of times is the best thing. And just giving people grace to be who they are, but it doesn't mean that you have to accept or tolerate them being that in your house any more than putting shoes on your couch or laying in your bed without your permission. They don't get to come into your world and disrupt it any more than you do theirs, right? So that's what I would say to you.
I appreciate it. It was turn your phone down, Gav, please. Oh, sorry, baby.
No.
Excuse me. Walk into another room. Everybody is on their device in the house. Like, we're not playing this. We getting this energy. We putting this energy in the house. This is not a game. There was just a friend of mine, and he would just complain about money. You know what I mean? Like, he has money. He manages money well. However, he just likes to complain. And he would just complain about money. And like, and when he said, like, I'm just supposed to be broke, like, I'm just waiting on Jesus to fix it. And it was just making my stomach hurt. Like, the conversation was really pissing me off. I was like, I gotta get off this phone, because you're not trying to like see your value. I see your value and you don't. And it's getting on my nerves. And you're right. Everybody's supposed to come to their truth when they're ready. And sometimes it takes certain circumstances or other people to inspire that in them. I'm so big on inspiring my people that it does tick me off when they don't get it immediately. You're right. I'm working on that part of my patience, but I see the value in my people. And so it's just like, I just want to cheer for my people. And so when they don't get it, it gets on my nerves. But I heard what you said. A little distance would not hurt, and not allowing that person's energy to penetrate me or my mind, because I know the value of my words. So being that example, that's my takeaway, just being that example. I got you. Thank you, Coach.
Yes.
Della's asking what was the quote? You owe no man anything.
Oh, yes. You owe no man anything that would prevent you from making the most of yourself. That's by Wallace Waddles.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. I know it's almost time. Oh, okay. And this kind of goes to, I think that was Della, that was you. I think that was you. But when we talked about your standard, right? Last thing I'm going to say is that this is for, this is a principle, and it kind of goes to what Sparkle Bailey was just talking about. If you raise your value, your prices will automatically rise. If you raise your value, your prices will automatically rise. Meaning the cost of dealing with you rises. When you become more than what you are, the way you express that becomes more valuable and valued. And the cost of dealing with you automatically rises. When you make a sweater and it's $30 and they're sold out, and so now, and you have to keep getting them out and one day shipping or this or that, you're going to start raising your prices because you have so many sweaters you have to get out that you need more help. You need more whatever else. You need more fabric. You need to get more stuff back to you quicker. Your prices are automatically going to raise because you are performing at a different level. And you perform at a different level because your value has risen. the way you are thinking about yourself, the way you're thinking about your business. When you say, I am Cynthia, the real estate educator, when you really see that those are two the same people, and when you realize Cynthia is valuable, therefore the real estate educator is valuable, your esteem of yourself, your consciousness, your self-concept, the value that you place on yourself affects the way you do what you do. And therefore you become more valuable and valued. And therefore dealing with you is going to cost more because your time becomes more valuable. Because of what you put out becomes more valuable. The quality of what you're giving to the world becomes more valuable. And so now your price is automatically going to rise. The cost of doing business with you as a business person, as a friend, as a brother, a son, a daughter, the cost of dealing with you rises. People know when they call me, when I'm teaching somebody or training something, people know they learn very quickly they have to change, they change some things. Because I don't just tolerate and accept you, like Sparkle Bailey was talking about, waiting for Jesus to fix it and all the other stuff crazy stuff people say. I don't judge you for it because I've been there. I understand why you're saying what you're saying, but I also understand the outcome of what you're saying, and I can't roll there with you, right? And so the way you are valued and your value goes up automatically when you change your own concept of yourself and your esteem. When you become more valued to yourself, more valuable, you become more valued in the world because the way you express yourself takes on a higher level, right? And so everybody is trying to raise prices and everybody's trying to do this or do that. But the point is you'd have no choice but to do them. And just genuinely, intrinsically, you'd be inspired to do it because you're just at a different level. You're just performing a different way. You're thinking a different way. Your value, your performance is just different. And people start saying, well, I know you almost sold out. I'll pay you $50 for the sweater. And you're like, $50? Yeah, man, I gotta have one of those. Man, my wife got one. It's so soft. I should have got one when she got one, but now they're sold out. I'll give you 50. And you've been selling the sweaters for 35. Now you're like, well, you know what? Because this person told you I have to have one. And I'll give you 50 for the one that, that for the last one you have, for the one off your back. Then you start realizing, wow, because I'm thinking different, I'm producing different things and people are seeing different things from it. You know what? I'm gonna start charging 40 for the sweater now. And then you'll think, well, man, no. Then you'll see it's sold out still. And then you keep on pumping them and you keep raising man, everything is sold out for me. All my sweaters, people love them. Every time I put them on, they just feel like they could go to sleep in them. There's this or that. And they keep selling like that. And then after a while, it's 6 months later, you're at 45. And you've done 2 price changes off value, not out of marketing, not out of, oh, I got to have a plan to do this or do that or do this. Your plan is not independent of you. You're not valued independent of your own value. You are not esteemed different than your own self-esteem. You are not seen different than how you see yourself. When you raise your own self-concept, the idea of yourself and the value of yourself, it is going to, your performance is a reflection of it. Your physical performance, I know I'm almost out, I am out. Your physical performance is a reflection of your consciousness. So when you raise your consciousness, Della, of what you're aware of being, Johnny, you will therefore perform, Cynthia, in a way that your prices, Natasha, I'll give you $1,200 for the Model Y for the weekend. I only charge $600. Yeah, but every time I call, you're sold out. Well, now that $600 Y every weekend goes up to $800, and you still got as many people because your car is always so clean. But why are they? Because you cleaned them. Well, why did you clean them? Because that's the way you think. You see what I mean? When you start to think different about yourself and about who that is, what Natasha means, what does that mean? What does Johnny mean? What does Cynthia mean? What does Latoya mean? What does Monique, what does that mean? When you raise that value of what that means to you, when you say it, when you hear it, when other people say your name, what that means, you will see everything rises because it meets the level. Like water, it just meets the level. It shrinks or it rises, but it lowers or it rises, but it's on the level, right? When you do that, you'll see everything will change for you. Effortless, easy. All right, I know we're a little over time. Anybody want to say anything about that before I go, or before I let you go? Anybody want to say anything about that or anything else?
I want to say thank you, Coach. I really enjoyed it. I love your side note. Stop sharing your thoughts with everybody because they're very limited. I agree. And then you also mentioned about energy. It takes more energy to do something. So I want to let people know that it takes double or triple the energy to have a negative thought as it is just to have a positive thought. So yeah, I really enjoy every Saturday tuning in. So thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
I just want to say, man, there's always tremendous value, and I appreciate everything. Sometimes I miss the beginning because of just scheduling at work, but beyond that, I love coming and I get so much. I wrote down so many notes continuously every time I show up, and it's super valuable, and I can't wait to have the same impact that you have on us, and I want to be able to share that on other people as well. So thank you.
Good. And don't wait. Assume you are now. Stop waiting. God doesn't wait. If it was darkness and God said, let there be light, but I'm going to wait for everybody else to say something, there would be no light because there is no other person to create the light. So the waiter is waiting on who? Right? When you have a desire, step into it. It doesn't mean it will physically express right then, but it'll never express until you step into it. So if you wait to step in, you're waiting. Ain't nothing to wait. There's no time counting down. It's waiting on you. It's waiting on the waiter. Right? So when you stop waiting, you will now go from waiting to being. Once you are, you will start to see the reflections of what you are. God rewards you for who you are. For who you are. Humanity doesn't reward you until you do something. That's how they work. But humanity is an after effect. The physical world is an after effect of the invisible world. And the invisible world always is. I am always is. So as soon as you have a desire to be something, you step into that, into the moment of now. I have a desire to be healthy. I am now healthy. I will never become healthy if I'm still in the state of wanting to be healthy. I'm waiting to be. No, as soon as you have a desire and that's what you know you want, assume you are that. Step into I am healthy. Step into I am impactful and important in my world. Everybody loves to listen to me and talk to me. People just can't get enough of my advice. They're always asking me for advice or perspective because I give such good advice. I am the thing that I want to be now. And I remain in that until it perfectly manifests in my world. But it will never manifest in your world until you become it. God rewards you for who you are. Your consciousness is what it is. It is not what it is not. You will never be what you are not. Period. So there is no waiting. There is no perfect timing. There is no God's divine timing. That is your timing. It is when I am believes itself to be. And I am can only believe itself to be according to what you are willing to do that. The power you have is the power to choose what I am is. Doing or being or having. That is your power. Choose. And whenever you want to be, assume you are now. Whatever you want to have, assume you have it now. However you want things to go, assume they are now. Stop waiting. There is no future. There is no I will be. There's I am. I have been. Oh, I'm so glad, man. People are always asking me. I'm so glad that I've been selling out my business for 3 months straight now. I'm so glad, kind of like Veronica said earlier, how she puts all her affirmations in present and past, right? That's all. It's either happening right now or it's already happened, but it ain't gonna happen, right? God didn't say there will be light in 3 decades. We'd still be in the dark, right? No, let there be light. That's now, right? Yes, sir.
Coach, thank you, Coach.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Justin, what's up, man?
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
Man, listen, Coach Lucky, man, I just wanted to say this, right? Like, even how you started, like, that clip, like, what do you want?
Yes.
Man, like I was like kind of like borderline broken because it's like hard to verbalize because the season that I'm in has been so deep, and it's like I never been in a place where I prepared. I always allowed life to happen to me, and I feel like maybe, that's why I'm not where I want to be, is because I never really prepared. I never really planned. I never really found out who I was, right? But like this season that I'm in, and even like just the simple text messages you be sending, like, you got to know what you want, and you got to become you. And like I appreciate you. I appreciate you because whatever you got to go through it's like you got to grow through. And I know that, like, you know, everything that you're saying, everything that you're pouring into us, it's so real. And I don't think, and anybody else on here, like, I can't speak for anybody else, but like, when I first started coming on here, like, I didn't catch it right away, you know, and I think through time, through working that muscle, through, you know, continuously refining that consciousness, it's like you have no choice but to change. You know, I'm not the same person. And like, even when you were like referring to the analogy about the drinking and smoking, like, in the summer, like I was like drinking a little bit too much. And I'm like, dang, man, like, you know, I really don't want to. And then it's like, but I can't stop. It's a habit, right? And like, I just like feel really good about myself, like coming into this new year, like not drinking, um, just like a lot, man. Like just really like, cause I don't want to alter who I am, you know, because I'm finally liking the person that I'm becoming, you know, and it's like, I never really, you know, it's like all the trauma, all the things that people go through. I'm sure everybody else has a story as well, but like, you know, I just been, you know, I watch a lot of the stuff you send me, and then like, you know, recommendations will come on, and like I was watching something saying about how like, you know, your first 6 or 7 years or whatever, like you, that's like when you develop your subconscious because of your environment. And I think sometimes like I used to have a victim mentality because I'm like, it's not my fault though. You know, it was my mom's fault. You know, my dad wasn't there and all of these things. But I feel like the power is in what you're teaching us, because we can really reprogram our mind, you know, and we become like, it's crazy. It's deep. And it's like really hard to verbalize, but you know, I really appreciate you, because finally I'm at a place in my life where I can take accountability, and I can also take the proper steps to actually get what I want instead of trying to finesse, right? So like all of these were great analogies. And even that was like so deep, because I'm like, dang, you know, we try to finesse our way through stuff, you know? You know, and even when you say the word finesse, like I think of like fast talkers, like, you know, stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, you can't finesse this, man. So I appreciate you, Coach Lucky, man. And you know, I just love what you're doing. And I, you know, I love clipping this stuff up. I love, you know, just absorbing it, man. And like, you know, it's a part of my therapy, man. So I appreciate you and Vero. So, you know, have a good week. Happy Saturday. Let's get it. And Jeremiah was saying hi. He was like being so rude when Cynthia was talking, but you know,
I said, hey, that's it. That's it.
family sends our love.
Yes. Yes. Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, everyone, have a great weekend. You can catch the replay when I put it on the website. I put the website in the chat. If you need it again, let me put it again. And we'll see you guys on next week.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Have a good one.
Thank you. See you all soon.
See you next week. Have a great week. Buy it.